As crypto markets remain oversold with the possibility of a bullish reversal on the macro charts, there are probably hundreds of altcoins that present opportunity. In this video, I want to discuss two of them. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Thank you for coming by, watching this video. Hit that like button on the way in. It means a lot to me. Let's jump into the video. This is CKB, Nervos. We also have PBX, Paribus. I've talked about these on this channel before, doing a collaboration with Nervos right now. Awesome projects. I want to discuss, we can briefly discuss the projects, but I want to discuss basically the charts and the upside that lies within the charts right now. For context to the charts, before we dig into that, Nervos Network, number 162 on market cap in CoinGecko, right around 1.5 cents right now as I do this video, just above, right? Market cap $498 million. Let's take that. Let's dig into the charts a little bit. If you're unaware, this is kind of a brief overview on Nervos. Early internet applications lived on segregated networks, needing different ways to access and interact. Now, in today's decentralized world, we again see the segregation into different ecosystems with poor interoperability. We've talked about Nervos on this YouTube channel for a while now, and the need to kind of get rid of this segregation in blockchain is huge. And Nervos tackling the problem, solving the problem by offering a suite of integrated solutions that allow the developer to build universal apps. Universal apps, right? So this is covering a very broad spectrum in the entirety of blockchain space. So I think there's so much growth potential for Nervos, as remember right now they are number 162 on market cap. They're not even in the top 100 right now. So when you come to the charts, all right, there seems to be some upside. And interestingly enough, there's a lot of alignments and synergy on the Nervos charts and the Paribus charts. And that's kind of what I want to talk about in this video. So let's first start on the weekly on CKB, Nervos, right? First glance for me, and this is any crypto, first glance is like, all right, this was probably a pretty good time to buy. This was probably a pretty good time to buy. Even trade, right? If you're trading, you're buying those dips, those oversold environments right there, right here. And these are these higher low areas. Now, this entire video is not financial advice. There are absolutely no guarantees when we're looking at these charts. We have to be so careful. There is potential that trend of higher lows that we see there on CKB, it ends out of nowhere, right? It gets reset on this macro chart. CKB could very well break to the downside. There could be huge downside risks here. So be very careful with this. Even to this lower trend line on this weekly doesn't seem far away, but that's a 25% dip revisiting the lower trend line there at around like just above a penny. So be careful there. But when we're talking about these higher lows, when we're talking about the growth of a blockchain like Nervos from a fundamental perspective, there seems to be so much upside because we see what crypto does historically, which is it takes these huge consolidations on the long term, but it's a long-term trend to the upside, right? So if this plays out for Nervos and CKB revisits even this upper trend line here, what does that look like, right? And let's not even talk about this target here right now, but what does it look like a revisit to that upper trend line? 85% gains for Nervos if it starts testing that true long-term bullish confirmation, right? And starts making that breakout above the 50-week moving average in blue, the 20-week moving average in green. It's just making moves. That's an 80% move to this upper trend line. On top of that, a breakout to the target of this macro, and this would take a while likely, but we're looking at like around a 20-cent target out of this macro symmetrical triangle. That's a 1,200% gain for Nervos. In the macro, everyone. This is in the macro. This isn't like a 2022 prediction, but I'm just saying that's some upside potential right there for Nervos on the long term. Dig into the charts, it could all start right here. And this is kind of on the daily, maybe better illustrated on a 6 hour. We have this rising This rising wedge testing just around this upper trend line area, 26% gain to the upside, just above 2 cents for CKB. That's what we're eyeing up right now. We can continue tracking that on the short term, but that could be the very beginning of this move for CKB. Going back to that daily chart, if we zoom out here a little bit, it could very well play out where CKB is kind of getting a higher low bottom as we've seen previously, right? And what we'll be waiting for is just a very similar, you had this 20-day moving average cross below the 200 and just a very similar upswing of CKB. And you can see the first step of that happening is CKB getting right back above the 20-day moving average right there in green, and then maybe some consolidation, and then tackling and getting above the blue line, the 50-day moving average. So here we are, zoomed in. Check it out. 20-day moving average, we're above it. Maybe it's some consolidation. Maybe it's a fake breakout to the downside before the move to the upside. This is what we can watch on the short term on CKB, but long term, the charts, they are what they are, right? We could very much revisit this lower trend line. This rising wedge could be the story of that playing out. But at the same time, everybody, zoomed out on the chart, there seems to be a lot of upside for CKB, Nervos, as this project continues to grow. Paribus, invest in Defi, redefine your yield. I know part of the screen is missing. Cross-chain borrowing, and where'd it go? Where we at? A cross-chain borrowing and lending protocol for NFTs, liquidity positions, and synthetic assets powered by Cardano blockchain, Cardano-based project. Here we are in PBX, not even in the top 600. We're talking 684 on CoinGecko with a market cap of 41 million. Now talk about upside, everybody. I mean, a 10x would be just above 400 million on market cap. And if we're looking at this, check this out. 400 million, that doesn't even bring it into the top 100. Paribus has potential to be in the top 100, right? But we're not even talking about that. We're talking about a simple 10x to a 400 million or so market cap for PBX. And this is what the charts look like on the weekly. Very similar to CKB, interestingly enough. It's early stage for PBX, which I think is really exciting as it kind of finds its stabilization on the macro, but just leaves so much room for an explosive move to the upside as the project grows, as the project delivers, and as crypto maybe enters into another bull cycle, parabolic bull run. PBX has a lot of upside potential. If we're looking at upside, as we did, let's see what it looks like for PBX to this upper trend line from where it is right now. Check it out. Right around 65 to 70% to that upper trend line. Just very similar to CKB and what we just talked about on that chart. If we look at the breakout target for PBX, just below 20 cents from where it is right now, we're looking at right around 900 to 1,000% gains to the upside out of that symmetrical triangle in the macro that we see. Now, it's a smaller market cap, and moves like that with those smaller market caps, they just seem even that much more attainable, right? Those 10x moves out of big patterns like this on the macro. Zooming into the charts, here's what we're looking at. Very similar story as a lot of cryptos right now, kind of hovering in that 20-day moving average resistance range, seeing if we can get above that area up to the 50-day moving average, and that range is, right around a little over or almost 2 cents, right? Up to the 50-day moving average, right around 2 cents. That range of resistance is what PBX is looking for right now. But we're looking for a similar move that we're looking on CKB, which is the 20-day moving average to reverse back above the 50-day moving average, that blue line. So that's what I'm watching on the PBX charts. The long story short in this video is these are earlier stage projects on the blockchain, everybody, and they have a lot of upside momentum, upside space on these charts when you just zoom out on the weekly, and it's really, really cool to see. So we're going to continue tracking these projects. Wanted to throw them out there. I have so many that I just want to cover, just look at on the charts to track, because there's so much opportunity in crypto. You just have to be extremely careful out there, everyone. I know you all have so many projects you want me to cover. I'll try and get to a lot of them as I find the time to do so, but I wanted to do this one on these two interesting altcoins. Let me know your favorites in the comments below. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.